What's up everyone, I'm Phoenix and I welcome you to Learn with Fee, Grow with Me. This is my first storytime video, and on this video I will be telling you a story that reminds us never to underestimate vulnerability. At least that's what it reminded me, and it also showed me that there is this inner self that has existed in me, and that exists in everyone, that just is ready in different scenarios depending on our level of vulnerability to come out, whether we know it or not. Well, hopefully that's not too loud. Alright, we're not gonna let that distract us. Here's a story for you. So, when I was younger, my mother passed away from breast cancer. I was only about 7 years old, and it was clearly a very tough time in my life, and it changed the course of my life from what it would have been. And I say change, but this is just my life, and this is just how I know it. This is just my life. I don't know anything different. Anyway, having had that experience at 7 years old, it clearly made me someone who had experienced that level of trauma, right? There's a lot of noise going on. I remember when I was 12 or 13 years old, and there was someone that my stepmother had known or was acquainted with, and we were all over a friend of the family's house, and that other friend had recently lost their mother. Mind you, this friend was in their 40s, and clearly your mom is your mom, so no matter when you lose your mom, I feel like that pain is going to be quite intense no matter how old you are. Will it be different? Yes. And the difference being, there could be a lot of differences, but a clear difference would be at 40 you're already an adult and you had your mother your whole life, so she's got to see you through the different stages of your life, and she's gotten to know you as an adult and almost like as a friend as well. So yes, she had also lost her mother, and I remember my stepmother talking to me about how she just had stepped outside and she was feeling upset, and how maybe it could be nice if I went out and kind of talked to her and related to her in a sense. And for me, I was again 12, 13, 11, between 11 and 13, and I'm just in my head I felt fear and doubt of she's 40 or something. I'm how am I gonna relate to her, or how she probably doesn't want to hear from me right now, or whatever it is. Just that doubt, and then that sat with me for a bit, and then I started to let the connection and the potential for connection and helping her flood me more than those other thoughts of not wanting me around, or me being too young, and what could I say kind of thing. And I didn't know what I was gonna say, so that's also part of it. But anyway, so I took her advice, and I also wanted to help her feel better in general, or should I say, I didn't want her to feel that way, and I know what that felt like, even if I didn't see myself per se being the one to change that. But yeah, I went outside, I went towards the car that she had been taking time and space in, and I remember getting in the car or something like that, and starting to talk to her, and I can't fully remember the extent or depth of everything that I was saying, but I do remember having this kind of out of body feeling where I'm listening to myself and what I'm saying, and not almost not
almost feeling like, oh, who's speaking? Like, that doesn't sound like me. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of started to flow out of me, what I was saying, and I felt deep, like, I felt deep vulnerability, but a deep sense of, like, peace and power and, like, warmth in the sense of, like, helping. And I tried to connect with her, and I was successful in that. I remember, like, talking about just, like, you know, losing people and, like, the pain of it and going through it. I even, like, I do remember, like, talking about something that helped me a lot, which was writing and writing poetry and just, like, getting your thoughts on paper and allowing yourself to have a vessel to not stay in your head. So I, like, talked about, like, journaling and writing and how that might be helpful. And I'm sorry she's going through this. I think I even, like, held her hand at one point, and, like, it was just crazy. Like, I felt like I was another, like, I was someone her age, and we were just, like, relating in this moment. And it's, like, so interesting. It made me realize, like, how you don't want to underestimate vulnerability, and as hard as it is to be vulnerable, and in so many different scenarios, if we think about things that happen in our lives, whether it's losing someone or a relationship ending or a friendship ending or whatever traumatic experience that we experience, it sucks. It really sucks. And at the same time, it gives us a certain level of power that we didn't have before, because having that experience, we now have the power to relate on a very real level to somebody else that might be very helpful for them, and in the future also helpful for us in soothing us, like, hey, like, you know, I'm okay, I'm gonna be present, I actually am powerful, I made it through this, I am here today, I am not letting that hold me back from the person that I am and the person that I'm becoming. You know what I mean? Like, it's a powerful thing, and it's something that I realize is that, and it's still something that I work on every day. That's, like, really hard, but it's something that you continue to realize of, like, how vulnerability, and when you're vulnerable, you're probably, like, the strongest you are, the most powerful, strongest whole put together that you ever are. Even though vulnerable stems from the root, I think it's the Latin root vulnerare, which means open to attack or something like that. Fact check me. But, like, you're open to attack, but you're owning the stage. You're taking that power. Like, you know, I'm gonna be a real human, authentic human, and I'm going to relate. That's powerful. That courage, that shit is powerful. The human, like, how humans can do that despite of the trauma, despite of the how hard and all that, like, and relate to someone on such a real level. It's crazy, but that's something that I learned. And yeah, so that was my little quick story time. Got a little vulnerable, a little tough, but very important for this video, and reminding you not to underestimate vulnerability. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed my other videos. If you haven't yet watched them, go ahead and go to my channel and check those out. I will see you on the next video. This is Learn with Fee, Grow with Me, and I post videos every single week. And until next time, love, peace, light.